Welcome to r/Tales from Tech Support, where we get to have a little chuckle at the technologically disadvantaged. Like me. I'm Uncle Reddit, and have I got a story for you. Okay, I know I said it before, but I mean it this time. I'm back. It's Sunday night now doing this recording. It'll be released tomorrow morning for you guys. Things have just been crazy here. Had one daughter home on leave from the Marine Corps. Had one just got married this past weekend. All the honeydew chores and remodeling around the house. Remodeling the vintage camper. My day job. Ugh. Ready for a break. Ready to read some stories for you guys. So enjoy. I'm going to keep it basic today. No cat cam, no fancy schmancy, whatever. Just some stories. My modem don't need power if the wireless thing is powered on. Hey everyone, so good to be posting again. It's been a while. My previous posts in this subreddit were pretty popular, so I was happy that I could entertain you all. As stated before, I'm a local PC repair guy in my area, and most of my customers are by word of mouth. I got this call one morning from a repeat customer. I probably hear from her about 2 to 3 times a month. So it's around mid-morning. I get the call. I answer with my usual greeting. No clue what that greeting is, however, I'm sure it was clever and somewhat charming. Lol. The caller right away, and what sounded to be like she was in a panic, tells me that she has a major problem and tells me that her internet service is out. I respond and tell her I'm sorry to hear this and tell her that the local ISP, small town, may just have an outage. Being on the same ISP and sitting in front of my PC, I checked mine and it was working okay. I tell her this info and she says, "Well, that's weird. Can you do me a favor and remote into my computer to see what's going on?" Of course, in my head, I'm laughing, and of course, this made me go silent. She asks if I'm there. I say, "Yes, I'm sorry," and then proceed to tell her that if her internet isn't working, I can't get into her PC. She seemed confused and said, "Oh, I thought you said your internet's working." Of course, at this point, I'm not annoyed or anything, as I do understand that some people, especially a little older like this customer, really do not understand the concept of all this. I try to explain to her that my internet is working, but for remote connection to work that both sides would have to have internet. Still confused, she says, "Yeah, but I don't understand. You remotely work on my computer when it's broken all the time." I of course spent more time trying to explain the whole thing to her, but decided to start going through troubleshooting with her. Long story short, I start at the first point. Look at your modem. Tell me if you see lights on. It's cable internet. She then says, "Well, none of those lights are on, but do they have to be?" I responded, telling her that yes, they need to be on because if they aren't, then that may mean the modem has no power. She then says, "Well, the lights are off because I unplugged the modem, but it should be okay." Oh my god, because I left the wireless box plugged in. She was meaning the router. I set her up with a modem and a separate router back in the day. Curious, I asked her why she unplugged the modem. She said she felt like there was too much plugged in that corner, and she assured me that it's not a problem because the wireless box is still powered, and she backs this up as proof by telling me she knows it's okay because she can still see her network name on the wireless. Lol. So I explained to her how the modem works in harmony with the wireless box, and both have to be plugged in. Initially she tells me that she doesn't think I'm right about this, but ate her words when the internet started working again once she plugged the modem back in. Didn't charge her since this was an easy fix. Yeah, that's a pretty abstract concept for some people, old or young. They don't understand, one brings the internet into the house, the other one helps you disperse it wirelessly. Although I will say, my mom gets it. So, I don't know. She gets parts of it. I now know how Nero felt. Year's 2019. I'd been at a small MSP for 3 years now, and things are going gangbusters. Picked up numerous clients, installed some big hardware, grown from 2 people on service desk to 8. Things were overall just going great. There was this one customer that was really being hard to work with. Finance officers wouldn't respond to emails. Invoices were going 3 months into delinquency. You know the kind, I'm sure. So our CEO went to them, told them he was willing to help them through the obviously hard financial time they were having, gave them a payment plan, made it clear that we held all the chips and they needed to play ball with us. We had their domain name, their Microsoft licensing, the whole shebang. Every week or so I would approach the CEO with a huge smile. "Come on, CEO, I've always wanted to see how quickly everything goes to crap when I start turning things off." Yes, hitting man, I'm aware of your constant need to burn down our customer services," with an even bigger, some would say cheeky smile. A few more months go on and it just stops. No payments, no emails, nothing. I jump into our finance software, and at this point, there's $60K in the hole. Ouch. Please, CEO, it's time. Give them a week. A week passes, 2 even, but no sign. Eventually, I look up to a knock on my office door. It's time, Hitting Man. You have my permission to terminate their servers. You should have just gotten a ticket from me to do so. The look on my face must have been something to behold, because suddenly all my team members are coming in to watch the fireworks. First, I divert their phone number to a voicemail and suspend all their office phone services. In a couple of minutes, I get a notification that the voicemail is full, so I crank it right up to 100 gigabytes from 150 megabytes. I remove all the Microsoft licensing from their Office 365 account. I start seeing all the machines start to throw up activation errors and Exchange login errors, for Mailbox does not exist. It's beautiful. I then delete their name servers for their DNS. They just disappear from the internet over the course of the 4 hours most of the TTL of the addresses had. I can see our warning alert emails are now bouncing back. Lastly, I'll turn off their UTM. They had never paid for this year's license, so it was running in a repeated 30-day trial mode, so no harm, no foul. I see the general manager's mobile appear in the call center queue. I park it and notify the CEO that it's coming through. He wants it directed to him. In the 3 years I'd been there, nothing ever went to the CEO directly, always through the PA. I didn't even know CEO had an extension number. 3,000, Hitting Man, if you can make sure that I'm not disturbed for a while. I forwarded the call and fell back into my chair, utterly satisfied. I looked at my mess of monitors with pings all returning nothing and steadily growing voicemail box. The company went bankrupt a few weeks later. We managed to get the UTM back, but that was about it. I wouldn't say that my experience was worth $60K, but it was certainly worth something. There's something just so satisfying about ripping the rug right out from under somebody when they'd done that. How did you get this number? You realize you're on call, right? Despite almost doubling my rates for new clients, and that rate was not a bargain basement either to begin with, the work keeps on coming in. I know this wave isn't going to last forever, so I'm taking full advantage of the shortage in the labor market while I can do so. This means an average work week for me in around 70 to 80 hours, but again, I'm getting paid by the hour, so I don't really care. It's pretty much sleep, eat, work, repeat. I'm starting to feel like Scrooge McDuck in his money bin with the good times rolling. I just need to make sure to put enough away so when the bottom falls out of this labor market and the leads dry up, I've got enough to lean on for a while. Anyway, here's a quick one that I just experienced. Enjoy. The scene. Hey IT guy, when can you get to that new server we were talking about? The manager screamed over at me while I was tending to a network issue across the cubicle farm. Yeah, it's going to be some time here, I say, looking at him annoyed. Well, I need it up by the weekend if possible. Feel free to do any of the work at night if that helps. Actually, it does. I might have some time this weekend. Who's my technical contact after hours? Great, we really need that up by Monday. If you have any hang-ups, just ping the on-call tech. They're usually around on the weekends anyhow. Saturday night. I remember when I used to have a social life and hated it when a job took me for weekend work. But that seems like ancient history here approaching year 2 of a pandemic. Now, Saturday night is just like any other evening. This one, though, I was about 4 cups of coffee in and knew sleep was not in the cards. So over to my client's office I go to finally tackle that server I had been promising him. Should be a 4 to 5 hour job to get it into production. Nothing special here. Just decommission the old one, restore a backup, optimize some stuff, and boom, I should be done. Home by midnight. Client will be happy and I'll get a few more hours to bill this week. First things first, I show up and go to the location where the server is supposed to be. It's just gone. I look around in all the usual places. Nothing. Check the not-so-typical places where some of the in-house guys will put stuff. Nothing. Stumped, but not wanting to go home, I remember there's an on-call tech. I look through my email and see the announcement about who it is this weekend and give his number a call. Rings through to voicemail. Sounds like a personal phone number, so I leave a message. Callback time says 1 hour or less in the protocol, so I hunker down doing some odd tasks waiting for the return call. An hour later, I don't have a call, so I ring the number again. Once more through to voicemail. I leave another message asking if this is not the right person to please let me know, but I have a job that needs to be finished tonight, so give me a call back ASAP. How did you get this number? I went to the bathroom and left my cell phone on a desk. When I come back, there are 5 missed calls. Thinking something's wrong, I paged through the call log to see it's the same number 5 times in a row in about 7 minutes. So I give it a call back thinking it might be the on-call tech. First thing out of the mouth of the guy who answers is, "How did you get this number?" Taken aback, "You called me 5 times in a row just now." "No, I didn't. Put me on your do not call list." "Hey, look, you called me, figured it might be a return call for X company. I'm a contractor doing some work tonight. You just can't go calling people in the middle of the night because you want to work. According to the office email, you're the on-call tech." "I told my boss I don't do on-call anymore." "Well, tell that to the office admin who put down your name." The guy is clearly really annoyed, and this is a new client. I don't want to get a bad reputation, so I just try to make nice, but he'd have none of it. "You contractors are all the same, blah blah blah," as he dumped on contractors for 5 minutes. "Look, guy, I just need to know where the server might be. Someone moved it today, and I would really like to just get it up tonight. This isn't why we have an on-call person on the weekends. It's for emergencies only, and you wanting to work ungodly hours on a Saturday night is not my emergency." At this point in time, I just want an exit strategy. "Okay, got it. I'll just let my contact know that we couldn't locate the machine and see what he wants to do on Monday." "Got that right, bud. Don't call me again unless there is an actual emergency." Click. Emailing the boss. As a consultant, I know it is best to keep everything in writing if at all possible, so I start an email to my contact, who is the site manager. "Hey, manager guy, I was at X company just now to get that server deployed and the physical machine is missing. I contacted the on-call tech, if you remember you told me to reach out to them with any problems, to see if they had any insight into its location. Unfortunately, the interaction I had with him was less than positive, and I don't think I'll be able to locate the server to get it up by this weekend. Let's talk on Monday. Sincerely, IT guy." Figured that was about as diplomatic as I could put it, even though I was mildly annoyed to have wasted at least 2 to 3 hours that night with the whole drama. I didn't hear back for the rest of the weekend, but figured he might just be waiting until he saw me on Monday morning. Monday, bloody Monday. Turns out the site manager didn't email me because he was livid at the on-call tech. He and that guy had a history of duking it out over on-call assignments and other office-related politics, so the manager was taking full advantage of this situation and set up the tech to be fired Monday morning. Apparently it was fireworks galore, but unfortunately I got there about 15 minutes after a few tables got flipped and the police had to be called. And also apparently everyone hated this guy for a long time. I wouldn't know why. Word got out that the tech was sacked mostly because I complained about him. Now I have people coming up to me thanking me profusely for getting rid of the guy like I actually fired him. It was an odd way to curry favor with a new client, but hey, if it gets me more work, I'll take it. Also, the random people treating me like some sort of hero, seeking me out to say, "Thank you, IT guy," is icing on the cake. It's funny, the situation it's getting you so much work, where you can pretty much name your price and do whatever you want, work as many hours as you want, whatever. I guess this guy thought he could take advantage of the same situation. Like, maybe he thought they wouldn't fire him no matter what he did or said because, screw it, where are they going to find help? That's all I can figure. Can't imagine why somebody would be that obtuse to the point where they get themselves fired, when they could have just answered a question real quick. I don't know. A dropped BlackBerry. Before becoming an IT manager, before qualifying as an IT architect, before becoming service desk lead, your author was a standard old service desk engineer. Everyone has their best tale. You probably do. Mine was from 2012, and a chap called in about his BlackBerry Curve 9300. The Curve 9300 was a quite unlovely replacement for the Pearl, and replaced the ball with an annoying tiny touchpad thing. But they had 3G and could do Wi-Fi hotspot for free, which endeared them to us even as bigwigs were getting the iPhones and Androids. Anyhow, this guy had dropped his BlackBerry. I asked about the damage, mostly to check if I needed to advise about a punctured battery. He said he didn't know. Wait, what? Okay, what's it look like? He didn't know. What was he doing when he dropped it? I was 45 meters up a tower doing an insulation inspection. A tower is what the layman calls an electricity pylon, but strictly only the arms are pylons. That'll do it. The phone was knocked out of his belt holster and fell into a bog, where it presumably remains to this day. Some future archaeologist in the peat bogs of Wales will have a story to tell his grandkids. Yeah, I wouldn't go mucking around in the peat bog looking for it either. Although, Fat guys like me aren't really great at going up on heights anyway, so it probably would have never fell out of my belt to begin with because I wouldn't have been up that high. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. If you get a chance, do me a favor if you haven't already. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click that little bell icon so you don't miss the fat guy with the beard telling you stories. See ya!